Hello, Insiders. I am Renee Ritchie, your YouTube liaison, and today I'm talking to Sarah.
I'm a content strategist here at YouTube, which basically means I just watch a lot of content, try to understand what's performing well.
And
the
why?
Audience. Yeah, and the why. The why is a really big part of that.
So how about we talk about live? Is there like a starting point for creators?
Oh, for sure. Depends on the type of creator you are. If you're someone who wants to get into live as like a consistent part of your strategy, I would say the number one thing you want to do is just pick a day and a time that you can commit to, whether that's on a daily basis or a weekly basis or even a monthly basis, totally up to you. But if you're a creator who's not looking necessarily to do live all the time, you can kind of think of that more as like an event-based stream for you. It's something that you're probably going to promote and really lean into and like get your audience kind of hyped about before you go do it.
If you want to go live, picking an event, like I've just got 10,000 subscribers and I want to celebrate, or like I want to do like this new gadget is coming out, I want to do a launch party, like just making like a narrative story for why you're going to go live for the first time.
Yeah, no, that's a super good point, because I think some of the intimidation in terms of getting into live is like, all I've ever done is scripted content, and this feels so different. So to that point, that is kind of scripting it a little bit, right? If you put it around a specific event, you can kind of outline what the stream is going to be about, which can give you some structure and help you flow through the content itself and help viewers understand kind of what you're doing. Very similar thing, but with members. So you do members only live streams, or it was just checking in. It was like, this is what's going on with my life. Like, what's going on with you guys? And so that could be a way for creators who have, again, that established audience who want to maybe dabble, but aren't quite sure how they want to dabble, to kind of do that in a space of really supportive viewers that you know are there for you.
How long in advance should you schedule your live?
If you're doing this every day, the bigger thing is like, make it known when you're going live, put it in your channel banner, put it in your Twitter. As you build up this consistency with posting live, your viewers will become so used to your normal check-in time that they will roast you when you are late. If you're doing an event-based stream, I would say schedule it. People can go, they can check in on the landing page. They can be like, what is this? Very excited about this. You can communicate with other people in chat.
And what about countdown timers? Some people just go live like cold open.
Yeah.
Like they're Saturday Night Live or Brooklyn Nine-Nine or something. And other people have like a minute, 2 minutes.
It's totally the vibe of the creator. If you want to have some sort of like intro screen, maybe it is only like 30 seconds, maybe it's a couple minutes, just so your audience can kind of get settled into chat, like cozy up, get ready for you to get there. And then they're not missing out on any of the action. If you're someone who's looking to do more event-based streaming where it's a big moment, I would say that's where you might want to lean into a like countdown a little bit more.
I've also seen some creators, some live streamers will spend, like instead of a countdown timer, they'll spend the first 5 or 10 minutes doing very deep interaction. Like they'll shout out the people who arrive first.
I think that's so key. I mean, when we look at live, like when you think of live as a format, the first thing that comes to my mind is community engagement. So what better way to start your stream than with like that deep community engagement? It's letting your audience feel seen and included in the content. That small little thing can create such deep community connections and take someone from a very casual viewer to a core fan. These are community members that will shape the experience of your chat for other people coming in. And the other thing that's such a small thing, but if you're someone who uses a face cam while live, when you're answering them, look in the camera. I'm really bad at this, but look into the camera and acknowledge them like you are speaking to them as people. Over time, as you start having these conversations more, as you start interacting live, you'll kind of develop like a culture, kind of like rituals within your content that either you start or your chat starts.
Yeah,
but
the
either
lore.
way, exactly, the lore. And you can kind of foster that. And it becomes this really cool space where you think of your channel as being something that you as a creator are defining. But I think when you get into live, you're opening up the opportunity for your audience to have just as much impact and shape on that as you do.
I think some creators who've been doing like long form video, they worry that if they start going live, it's going to affect their channel. It's going to hurt their channel.
So we haven't seen any sort of like negative impact coming from introducing a new format like live to the channel, but there are expectations that need to be set in your mind if you're a creator who is traditionally only done one type of format and then you're bridging into a new format. So you don't want to be looking at your VOD and comparing it to your live or vice versa. You want to think of them as distinct formats and measure them against each other.
We've heard people worry that if they post a video and then go live, their core audience will be drained from that video. Maybe you should go live first and then push people towards your VOD afterwards rather than the other way around?
I'll take in like my big Todd energy
Okay.
here and say, like, when we think about the algorithm, again, think about the audience and what
Yes.
your audience would do. So if I'm a viewer and you're like one of my favorite creators, I see you post a new video, I click into that video, and at that same time I see your live. That might be a little rough for me. What am I
Yeah.
going to do? I don't want to miss these live
'Cause I can
moments
watch that
with
video
you. I can
anytime,
watch-
but yeah.
Exactly. So that is something to keep in mind. What I would recommend is actually kind of what you're thinking about here. Maybe we go live first and then we launch the video. And if we want to even make it even better, at the end of your live stream, you tell people that's what you're
Yeah.
doing. You're like, I have a new video dropping right now. If you guys want to check it out, like, go head over.
So the other question we get a lot is, should you archive your lives? And if you archive your lives, will that hurt your long form videos?
A lot of the concerns we saw in the past around this idea of like live and VOD living on the same page were the worry of, I'm putting out high quality VODs a couple times a week or maybe like a couple times a month, and then I'm streaming every day, and all you see when I go on my channel is just all these live streams.
And all my sponsors might see is like all these lives.
Exactly, yeah. And so in those cases, what we used to say is like, if you want to archive, you can archive, but definitely put them in a public playlist. That way, even if they are unlisted, people can still access them. But with the content tabs now, don't really see that being as much of a concern. We see a lot of viewership coming into those archives. So as much as like live is an exciting format to watch, obviously, while live, people still are engaging with this content even once it's been archived. So you definitely want to give your viewers a way to access that. Because if I'm a super fan and I missed your live stream, I'm going to be real bummed if I can't rewatch it.
Yeah. How do you recommend the creators look at analytics around live?
Yeah, good question. Whenever I'm looking at the performance of different formats, you need to compare again apples to apples. Look at your shorts against your shorts, your live against your live, your VOD against your VOD.
Yeah.
And again, with the changes we've made in analytics, it's very easy to do now. The live analytics are really cool too, because you can go in and you can see, obviously, your peak concurrent viewership.
Yeah.
But you can also see where you have peaks in chat messages. So
nice.
For creators who are unsure of how to like engage with their chat, you can kind of see moments where you might be interacting with them a bit more.
There's a lot of monetization options, but some creators are like nervous about it.
When you look at the motivations between viewers of why they're doing this, they're doing it because they want to participate in your content. They want to stand out in some way. And three is they just kind of want to support you. Like, they are excited about the channel. And so something to keep in mind with any of those fan funding features is this idea of your audience wants to be active participants in the content. And so making it feel like when they do super chat that you are acknowledging their impact on the channel, that you are incorporating in their commentary in some way, even if it's saying thank you for that. That's all you need to do to kind of motivate them and make them feel like they had some sort of payoff.
If you do want to stream about gaming, is it saturated? Is there like no chance for you to break through? Has everything been done already?
Yeah, no, there's always room for more. There's always room for more. And there's always going to be an audience and a community that you can kind of tap into and find. Gaming has been around forever, but so have all these other verticals. So it's a space where you're competing against other games. You're competing within the game that you're in. But no, there's always room to grow.
If you pick a game up front, are you stuck to that game forever?
Oh, what a question.
Right?
This is the most asked question we get from gaming creators. You got to think about not only the games that you're playing, but the type of content you create.
Yes.
If you're a personality-based streamer and your whole bit is humor, you're going to probably have an easier time pivoting games. But if you're someone who does like really in-depth educational content, that might be a little bit more difficult if you're doing it for a specific game and then you want to pivot out of not only just that game, but the niche that that game sits in. If you're Minecraft and you're pivoting over into another sandbox type game, might be kind of easy. If you're Minecraft and you're going to start playing just a ton of Overwatch, your audience is going to be like, what is happening here? I'm scared. So it's all to say that depends on your audience, depends on the games you're playing, depends on how long you've been doing that, but it is possible. It will just require some work. And again, you as a creator setting your expectations for what that performance will be. We usually say you want to give things like 2 to 3 months when you're starting something new and hold with it. And you need to, one, see how it's performing and then be able to look at the data and make adjustments to that content. I want to see what isn't doing well and then iterate on that.
Sometimes with long form, like we talk to creators and say, if it's the same audience, keep it on the same channel. If it's a different audience, experiment with a different channel. Is that true with live?
One of the main 2 things I would like to keep in mind is this idea of topic and tone for your channel. So if I'm introducing something that is maybe incredibly different in topic, right? Maybe I was gaming and then
Yeah.
I'm getting into woodworking.
Yeah.
Is my tone the same? Was I really comedic while I was gaming and my goal is to be really comedic while woodworking? Or am I doing like how-to content with gaming and then like
We're all
doing
serious with woodworking.
Yeah, exactly. And so you want to consider, if you want to have some sort of line of consistency between it. So it doesn't mean that everything needs to be consistent, but if your topic's not going to be consistent, your tone should be consistent. If your tone isn't going to be consistent, your topic should be consistent. So if you're a creator who's really like your content is very personality driven, you're going to have a bit more flexibility in keeping everything on the same channel. But if you're doing a huge 180 in terms of, you know, topic, tone, style, then that's a time where I would say you can consider breaking it out. If you want your own distinct brand identity, you want these two things to feel separate to you, separate communities, then break it out into two channels.
If you're streaming and you just don't seem to be getting traction, how would you address that?
Yeah, it would depend on what issue you're seeing, like where the traction is coming from. If it feels like you're not getting enough viewership into your live stream, then I would say, you know, maybe we want to think about doing something that can help like bolster your reach. Maybe we look at doing shorts or VOD. But if you're a live creator who's seeing you're getting people clicking through, they're coming into your channel and then they're leaving, then you want to look at your content itself. And this is where it becomes a lot harder, is you have to kind of self-evaluate, like, what am I doing here that's not resonating with my audience, and really drill down into how you can kind of fix that. With live, because it is unscripted, it's really easy to go in completely blind and be like, I'm just going to wing it. But what you'll notice is there can be a lot of dead space. So when viewers do come in, you're sitting there quietly, not doing anything. Maybe you're gaming by yourself, maybe you or like baking by yourself, whatever it might be. So if you can at least like have a general outline of the type of things you want to cover in that live stream, that could give you more structure and help you be a little bit more appealing as people come in.
Thank you so much. Insiders, you know what to do. If you have questions, just drop them in the comments and keep it real.